Hello. What happened to Jimmy Durr? He used to be, oh, YouTube crazy fool. Put up a video every day, 2 videos a day, talking nonsense, building trucks, putting things together, working on stuff, building dreams. And what happened to the asshole? Well, he went to work. What else did he do? Well, I always work, but sometimes I work so much. Sometimes I work so much that I don't even have time to sleep. And when that happens, you see, well, I don't have time to make a YouTube video. And maybe that's okay. I mean, what are you gonna do? I can't do it every day. I try. But sometimes things are good and you're working and it's like, oh, okay, this is better. At least I'm doing something. You see, I want to say I work like a dog, but dogs lay down. I mean, look at that fucking dog. Dogs spend more time laying down than they do working. Everybody knows. Actually, I've never even seen a dog work. I mean, I know maybe Eskimos got working dogs, but I ain't got no working dog. So, I don't work like a dog. I work like a Mexican. And part of that maybe is because I was raised by Mexicans. But I don't know for sure. The only thing I know for sure is that I'm a Mexican. I mean, well, I guess I'm not a Mexican, but I do work like one. All right. Viva Mexico. Now, we're a little bit lost in our segment here. But the real question was, why does all this stop and take breaks? Well, it usually does every spring because I get busy working and I don't have no time for this nonsense. And even at the moment, I should probably be working. But I'll tell you what happened. I was working, and while you're working, you're dreaming. And you're dreaming about times when you have time to do things to accomplish your dreams. Because if you don't have dreams, then you're not really living. At least that's what I think. Unless you just enjoy the work. Then I guess you could just be happy working. Like work. Of course, everything I do is work. So where do I draw the line between what's work and what's not work? Well, what's work would be what makes money, and what's not making money would be not work, even if it is technically work. So while I'm working, trying to make some money to feed the family and whatnot, which is important, usually the thing I'm thinking is, this is not what's important, even though I'll do it anyway because I need to make the goddamn money. And when somebody gives me a job to do, I'm the kind of Mexican that gets the job done. Anyway, you're thinking, oh man, I should be doing something with my family. So then sometimes, every once in a while, like today, I come home. It's like, all right, I've already put in 12 hours today. The sun's still up. Why don't I do something nice with my family while I still have one? Because who knows how long this lasts? Nobody knows. There is no divine plan. This is all spontaneous luck. Coincidental luckiness. Wow, what an amazing time. I don't want to waste a moment of this. What a shame we all have to sleep. I would like to sleep as little as possible. Of course, we'll see how that goes. It seems rabbits don't live as long as turtles. Anyway, I come home with my new plan. I'm gonna play with my kids. And nobody's home, except me and the dog. So, second choice, of course, I probably should go back to work and make some money. Of course, I don't really have any exact jobs to do. So, fuck all that. And now, maybe I can get a little work done on my truck. On my truck. Not Granddad's Chevy. It's postponed. You're on postpone. She's on the postpone list. It's on back order. What are you gonna do? When I'm doing something, I do it full speed ahead. I don't stop, I don't slow down, I don't yield for nothing or nobody. And then once I stop, once the brakes are put on something somehow for some reason, it can be hard to get started again because I've got so many things going on. But I'll tell you what the biggest thing is. Every spring, at least except for last year with the stupid germaphobe shutdown nonsense, Dennis Anderson has a spring event. And in the spring, I make most of my money, or at least try to, so I'm always very busy working, and it's always a last-minute deal to put my truck together and get there. Now, we all know I've got all kinds of transmission issues with my new 200 horsepower diesel motor. Yeah, I know, it's a big deal. Remember, I ripped the front end apart. I still haven't even put that back together yet, so I'm gonna put the front end back together. Then I'm gonna try and figure out what the hell's going on with this transmission, see if I can get this truck to move, and hopefully it won't be too last minute. But even if it is, you know, I'll be changing my transmission right in the pits at his event. Of course, I've gotta get there. But all this is exciting and fun, and it's what makes me me. You know, I won't quit. I just can't. I don't know how. And that's that. I've got these things I want to do, and you might look at this mess behind me and say, Jimmy Durr, what the fuck, man? Come on, can't you think of something better to do with your time? It's spring. Fish want to eat stuff. Go throw some hooks in the water. Have some fun. But, I mean, I want some glory, you know? I want to get in my monster truck, and I want to make it work again. And then you know that glory will follow. Why? Because I'm me. Because that's what happens when I do anything. It's just a fucking fireworks show every time I take a step. Shit blows up under my fucking feet. Doesn't matter what I do. It's very exciting and fun. I'll tell you what, I just wasted a good bit of time talking to you, and who the fuck knows when I'm even gonna have time to put this on the goddamn fucking YouTube. I can't tell you, I don't have no fucking time. And as much as I don't want to sleep, when I do fall asleep and I don't actually have to wake up at 1 o'clock in the fucking morning, I'll probably fucking fall asleep and not wake the fuck up. But maybe I will, because I want more than you do. Or at least I want more than they do. Maybe you want a lot too. Probably if you're watching me. Otherwise you'd be watching the slouchos on TV and agreeing with their point of view. Stay in bed, stay home, don't go out. It's a dangerous world. There's so many reasons to be angry when you look around at people and listen to the crap that falls out of their mouths. And you realize that their mouths are attached to their brains, and the brains told the mouths to say the things that your ears are picking up. And the only conclusion to all of this is that we're a failed species. But then you look around at your own personal world and you think, wow, I'm so far ahead of the rest of my creatures. I'm so much more crazy and daring and wonderful and wild and intelligent. Alright, maybe scratch the intelligent part, but it's really not that hard to be exceptional these days because so many people are fucking dull. At least you understand me. Everyone else around me thinks I'm an extreme asshole when I open my mouth. That's why I usually keep my mouth shut. I don't really want to tell anybody what I'm thinking. So I'm just gonna tell you. It's just between me and you what I think. I think people are a bunch of cunts. I mean it. It's true. And unfortunately, I'm one of them, so I'm included in the category. Fuck. I've got some work to do. I'm an idiot. Shut the fuck up, Jimmy Durr, and do some work. I don't know what asshole engineered this fucking nut here, but they didn't want this pinion nut coming loose. I don't know why it ever would come loose, but they surely didn't want it coming loose. And I haven't been able to get one off without heating it yet. Somewhere in here should be a snap ring. Can't see nothing in there. A little bit of grease, grit, dirt, sand, cum. I don't know what's going on there. Let's see what happens. when all else fails, you hit it with a hammer. So I've got this axle housing on the ground here. It's got no axle shafts in it. It's got no ends on it. It's just been sitting out in the weeds like that because I already stole the axle shafts, the planetaries, and the knuckles. I'm gonna pull the center chunk out of it. I'm gonna pull the, what are we calling those? The needle bearing axle guides on the end of the tubes. I'm gonna figure out how to get them out in one piece. I'm gonna replace all this stuff. I'm gonna replace all the old broken stuff in the monster truck with this stuff, then put the axle shafts and planetaries back together with the new knuckle. Hopefully, all will be well. I probably won't be able to get this all done in one shot. This might take a couple of weeks in my spare time, but it's on my list of things to do. So let's get to work. Sometimes you can wander around for like 20 minutes going, man, I know I got this tool I need. I know I got the tool I need. I know I got the tool I need. And you never find the fucking tool you need. And sometimes it's just easier to build the tool yourself. So I cut this end off an Allen key I need. And I got a socket here that I guess I don't need that much. And I'm gonna put them together, weld them up, make myself an Allen key that I can use with my impact gun. See how this goes. Hardcore that way. Well, I figure I better talk to you before I fall asleep. Talk to you before I go to bed anyway. Front end's back together, minus a drive shaft and some knickknacks. Tires and wheels, namely. So, I don't know, it's about, I think I'm about a week and a half away from Dennis Anderson's event, right? I don't know. For some reason, I'd like to think it's more than that. I can't remember what day this thing's going down. I think it's 2 weekends, and today's a Monday. So I don't know what that means. 10 days, 12 days, I don't know. Something like that. Almost 2 weeks. That'd be 12 days. It's exactly 12 days away from this event I want to make it to, right? Well, I didn't have to promise to be there, but that's because my value's gone down, I think. I don't know that my value was ever high, but I give my own gauge for this. I think that what I think is that if I was valuable, I'd be invited, and by being invited, it's like, hey, why don't you come make a mess out of a camper or something, like be a highlight, something we can like know that we'll have. But then when you screw stuff up time and time again, when you say you'll do something like that and then you get there and then you're taking a transmission out and trying to fiddle around with it and figure out what's wrong with it, all of a sudden you look a lot less valuable than you used to. And I think that's where I've always been. So it's really nice that somebody like Dennis would actually have any faith in me at all. But I think my track record shows that at least I do make a good mess of everything, and so long as my truck moves, I'll put on a show. But then, I just kind of sit quietly. Well, I don't sit, I don't ever sit. I just kind of be me, and I wait for my phone to ring. Like, hey, maybe I'll be invited because I want to be valuable. Like, that's what I'm going for. I want to just be somebody that's like, let's call him and make sure he's here because he's valuable for our event. Of course, I do turn most things down. Lots of people have been nice enough to be like, hey, come on to our event. And I'm like, nah, no thanks. And I don't mean anything by that. It's just I have to put a lot of effort into committing to be somewhere. And I've never been somebody that can promise something if it's not concrete. I can't promise I'll be nowhere because I don't know if I'll ever get up from this bucket I'm sitting on. Actually, it's a toolbox. I was going to sit on the bucket, but I settled on the toolbox. Anyway, it's not a good idea to go around promising things that aren't certain. because sooner or later you'll end up breaking a promise. So the only thing I can promise is I'll try. And that's gone well for me in life. I've never broke a promise that way. So I'll try, and I'll really try to be more valuable because, I don't know, I don't know how I could ever be as good as I want to be, you know what I mean? But I keep trying, and, I don't know. I always thought that you have to be talented at building the truck. But it seems that the only thing you get credit for is the way you drive. But if you drive the way you drive and your truck falls apart, well, then you don't get too much credit, do you? But you kind of do. And then the people with the most credit didn't even build the truck. They just get in it and drive. And it's like, that's the guy that drives the truck. He gets the most credit. And I want to be both. I want to build the truck. I want to drive the truck and get credit for both. And then not only that, I want to tell the story. I'm going to be the story, and I'm going to tell the story. What an all-around plan, I'm actor, director, and producer. I'm the whole deal. The whole fucking thing. Only there is no acting unless I'm trying to act to have fun. I mean, other than that, it's not no show. I mean, this is me. Here I am. It's May. I'm busy working, so I don't have much time to work on my truck. So then I'm just trying to go somewhere with the truck, but it's not ready to go anywhere. So I'm just cramming in time after I get done with whatever I have to do. And everybody's in bed. It's 11 o'clock at night. I'm starting to get tired. I was doing something. I got a little sleepy. I mean, not sleepy, but I should probably take a break soon. I've got to get up early and do it all again. I run like 18 to 20 hours a day now, and if I can cram an hour or two in here before I pass out, then that'd be great. It'll help me get this thing ready. But everybody that knows me knows all I'm going to do is end up pushing it on the trailer if I have to and getting where I want to go anyway. So that's what I do. And am I valuable? I'm invaluable, if that's a word. I think that's a word. I think what that means is I'm irreplaceable. The only thing is, my value's kind of strange. It's not like, well, we need him, but if I show up, I become invaluable. So that's where I'm at. Do I feel very valuable? No, not really. Not with my truck, but I sure do try. And it's like, well, I've done this time and time again. So we're going to call this Dennis Anderson's Spring Sling 2021 Part 1. Because this is where it starts. It starts here. It's dark out. It's quiet. It's just me and the crickets. Sorry, there's no crickets. It's spring peepers. It's me and the spring peepers off in the distance. And I am cramming to get this truck to move. I just want to get it to move. This is not a high-performance vehicle. It's not like I'm trying to fucking test and tune here. I'm just trying to get the fucking thing to move. And this is what I've always done. And no matter what, this is where I've always been. Like, I never climbed out of the gutter. I'm still in the fucking ditch, I can't get out of the fucking thing. I'm ankle deep in the fucking mud at best. Usually chest fucking deep, struggling to fucking get some air to breathe. You know what I mean? It's like, no matter what I do. And now we're just yard sailing with the fucking thing, I got my fucking Cummins motor in there. I'm just really trying to work out the kinks and get the bitch to roll around, But I think, you gotta have faith. They say you gotta have fucking faith, right? Well, I don't have no faith in humanity. I don't have no fucking... I ought to. I got a bunch of kids, but fuck that. I don't have no faith in humanity. I don't have no faith in the fucking planet. I don't got no fucking faith in much. I don't got no faith in a greater creator. I got no faith in the worlds beyond. Alls I got's faith in is if I keep fucking working at this shit, sooner or later something has to fucking work out. And you know what? It always does. It always fucking does. The story's right here. One day when you's in a fucking concrete palace and you're all by yourself and you got shiny fucking shoes, well, that ain't the fucking high times, man. The fucking high times was when you was crawling around trying to figure out how to get all that shit. And that's what makes so many people fucking lost and depressed and shit. You gotta realize when you're doing a top speed of 45 miles an hour in a junky old bus on the way to Dennis Anderson's Muddy Motorsports Park, that's the fucking high times in life. Those are the times that no matter where you end up, in a palace or in a jail cell, you look back and go, those were the good old days. Well, I don't have no fucking good old days because I'm living them. It never ends. I'm just always in the good old days. I don't, not one of these people that sees somebody and's like, oh, fucking remember when that happened? Well, I mean, you could do that for a while and have fun with it, but it's not looking back on the good old days. The good old days are right here, and I'm fucking still doing it, and I'll always be right there in the good old days. I don't think I ever graduate from here. I don't know. Maybe one day I'll be a little better off, but I got everything anybody ever wanted. Anybody that ever knew it. I don't know what the fuck is that. What the fuck is that? What you fucking talking about? What the fuck is going on back there? Something gonna explode. What the fuck was it? Chemical reaction. Well, maybe tomorrow, if I get some time, I'll be able to take it for a test drive and see how it does. That might be asking a lot. You never know. I'm starting to feel like this might work out.